A very warm welcome to you at home. I am Musam Khalipi and this is AfroShowBiz News, the show that keeps you in the know about all things art and entertainment from around the African continent. Now, to keep in touch, feel free to email us at afroshowbiznews@sabc.co.za. Also follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @AfroShowBizNews. Time now for today's headlines. Family, friends and fans of Mbaqanga Group Soul Brothers gathered at Baseline in Johannesburg to bid the late David Masondo farewell. Artists and art lovers gather at one of South Africa's valuable heritage sites, Constitutional Hill, as part of the dialogue that critiqued the notion that black artists are still emerging. And established and upcoming fashion designers get the chance to showcase their brands and best designs at this year's Menswear Fashion Week in Cape Town. Family, friends and fans of Mbaqanga Group Soul Brothers gathered at Baseline in Johannesburg to bid the late David Masondo farewell. In a moving and jovial memorial service, different speakers shared their most memorable and fondest memories of the late singer. Let's have a look. A perfect send-off to a man who pioneered in the music industry. David Masondo was honored at a memorial service held at Baseline in Johannesburg. Family and friends came in their numbers not to dwell on sadness, but to rather celebrate his life. His children laughed as they remembered their father. They shared some of their fondest memories and precious moments that they shared.
We usually go to Hammersdale, and then when we're there, we will because we will be together, all of us, like most of us will be there, and we will enjoy everything with him. We'll play music, we'll dance, we'll laugh, all of that, everything. And he was such a joyful person. We love that about him.
Masondo's daughter Rebecca was filled with emotion as she spoke about her father. She revealed that his death has been a tragic loss for her family.
It's really sad for us, especially everything that is happening. It's really sad for us. There's not much that I can say.
His career with Soul Brothers, dubbed the Mbaqanga Kings, spanned over 3 decades, having produced many albums over the years which have sold more than 3 million copies worldwide. The Soul Brothers lost fellow band members Duza Mthethwa in 1979 and Zakes Mchunu in 1984. The room was filled with emotion. Dance, laughter and jubilee was in the atmosphere as attendees sang songs of praise and danced as music was Masondo's first love. Fans and fellow musicians spoke about how they will most likely remember him.
I'll remember David as a man of responsibility.
Remember him of the song that he sang, because it was a daily song to me. When my mom played it, my father left back to Germany when I was too young. So whenever he sings that song, I hear that song, it was touching me deeply.
Stalwarts of South Africa's music scene, the Soul Brothers have been together since 1974. It was with great sadness and sorrow that his fellow group members would come together not to perform this time, but to rather say goodbye to their leader. Moses Ngwenya, one of the founding members of the group, spoke about how Soul Brothers came to be.
At that time, I liked to play jazz music and soul music. I was imitating Movers and Rex Rabani's style of playing organ. Zenzele and David Masondo and Duza Mthethwa, they came from Natal, playing Mbaqanga music without the keyboard.
Despite international releases, the group remained primarily a domestic phenomenon who continued to notch album after album, achieving gold status. Legendary founder and lead singer of Mbaqanga Group Soul Brothers died earlier this week. The 67-year-old soul singer was rushed to hospital after suffering from fatigue and exhaustion after an energetic live performance. He was laid to rest earlier today. Now let's take a look at who David Masondo was.
It sounds like these that blasted in radios of most family homes way back in the 70s. Floor fillers indeed, made popular by Stratamia groups such as the Soul Brothers, whose lead singer, the late David Masondo, serenaded music lovers with his voice. Born in Hammersdale in KwaZulu-Natal 67 years ago, Masondo started his music career by doing gigs in townships with Groovy Boys. He later co-founded Soul Brothers, a band that has successfully popularized the South African soul concept of Mpaqanga. Melodies to take you on a trip down memory lane. Music by Soul Brothers and the late lead singer David Masondo was one of the most successful proponents of Mpaqanga sounds, which dominated South African urban music over 3 decades. Soul Brothers recorded over 30 albums since their formation in 1974. It's said that Masondo's death comes at a time when the Mpaqanga group were in studio working on their 39th album. Soul Brothers were reportedly set to collaborate with Ladysmith Black Mambazo and Ihashi Elimhlope. He may be gone, but Masondo's voice will continue to serenade music lovers for a long time.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. 1, 2. Agenphinde futhi kwaze kwamnandi ngithanda nonke futhi bahle nonke.
It's a week to go to the MTV Africa Music Awards to take place in Durban. Now this year, the Mamas will be hosted on International Nelson Mandela Day.
While the MTV Africa Music Awards are about honoring some of the best popular musicians from Africa, this year they're about paying tribute to late former South African President Nelson Mandela. They will be hosted on Madiba's birthday.
It's also an opportunity for us also to acknowledge his impact on our lives and the impact on the world in general.
Performing on the Mama stage next weekend will include Nigeria's Wizkid and Two-Face, and South Africa's AKA and Black Motion. There will also be American musicians like Jhené Aiko and Neo.
We have one category that celebrates international music because our young viewers, our core viewers, also as Africans, we define ourselves by having tastes that span beyond our continent.
Find my way to you. I'll find my way to you.
This year's MTV Africa Music Awards are returning to Durban for the second time in a row. They're hosted in partnership with the government of the KwaZulu-Natal province.
Let's go for a quick ad break. Stay tuned.
From humble beginnings, this selfless icon altered the history of the world, freed a country, and united a nation. He taught us humility and forgiveness. To the world, he is Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. But to us, he is simply Tata Madiba.
Sculptor Nathan Saway is making waves at this year's comic convention held in San Diego. He has brought with him pieces of art depicting famous DC comic characters, Lego form. Let's take a look.
A collaboration with Warner Brothers that saw Sawaya recreate characters like Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman using the famed plastic building toy blocks. For this artist, the ability to devote his career to one of his favorite childhood pastimes is a dream come true.
I have fun. I found my passion. It's creating art out of Lego bricks. So what is there a better job out there?
To make sculptures, Sawaya had to carefully glue thousands of Lego bricks into form, crafting each piece over a period of 2 to 3 weeks.
When I'm working on these sculptures, it's these two hands that are doing all the building. And it takes me, 2 to 3 weeks to create a large, life-size human form out of Lego bricks.
The pieces are a preview of Sawaya's upcoming show titled The Art of the Brick, to be held in Sydney, Australia's Powerhouse Museum.
For this exhibition, I wanted to explore themes of good and evil and really heroes and villains. So what better place to turn to than comic books, and what better place than DC Comics with all their famous characters. So I wanted to take their superheroes and their supervillains and combine them in an art exhibition.
The comic convention ends tomorrow.
Artists and art lovers gathered at one of South Africa's valuable heritage sites, Constitution Hill, as part of the dialogue that critiqued the notion that black artists are still emerging in the 21st, and the exhibition is titled The So-Called Black Artist.
So-Called Emerging Black Artist is a group exhibition addressing the way black artists in history have been stereotyped and their subject matter and style understood only within the framework of township art, while their white counterparts dominate the industry economically. The exhibition is a critique of the aesthetic standard used in categorizing artists based on race and class.
The exhibition is a critique of those aesthetic standards that are used to categorize art, and consequently marginalizing black artists, and also creating huge disparities between black artists in South Africa and the more sort of established and affluent European artists.
Legendary arts and culture icon and Africanist Professor Pitika Ntuli was amongst the 3 artists who were part of the exhibition. He uses found objects and recycles old car parts, transforming them into majestic sculptures. Part of his recent work includes this one, titled Marikana.
Each time we heard about a massacre taking place in Bisho, in Sebokeng, Sharpeville, wherever else it is, it always brought in a number of tears. When the issue of Marikana erupted into our own kind of society, I couldn't actually resist getting my creativity in order to address these things. Not actually even for the public, but for me to resolve my feelings about us as a people and what it means to be a human being.
Mbongeni Buthelezi is a professional artist of note. He creates beautiful paintings with the use of plastic sheets and a heat gun, melting plastic and manipulating it into his desired image.
It's a portrait of my daughter. What I decided to do was to take a couple of pictures of her and couple that with drawings. Sorry, and I started building it up, with reinterpret, the whole thing using plastics. The whole idea was not just to do your normal portraiture, I wanted to do something that will tell a bit of story.
Vusi Mfupi uses paper torn out of old magazines and meticulously built collages that tell stories about the communities and societies he interacts with on a daily basis.
I remember this, like she was singing a song, Too Late for Mama, and do you know when you're away from home, you always have those memories of, but it was all about celebrating women, yeah.
The organizers hope the exhibition will help change the public perception of black artists.
She started off as a blogger for entertainment news. Today, she's the founder and CEO of Ogela Communications. Now, Allegro is joining me in studio to inform us about artist management and public relations for an artist. Hi, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you started off as a blogger,
Yes.
blogging about entertainment news. How did that now lead to you, becoming a PR agent and an artist manager?
I've always wanted to be in PR and communications. I actually majored in communications and varsity while I was studying a BA journalism degree. So I knew that it was a field I wanted to tap into, but not necessarily at that time when I was starting out as a blogger. But one thing led to another. You know, I had some of my celebrity friends say, listen, you do a good job at this. Don't do it part-time. Don't do it as, you know, a hobby type of thing. Take it seriously. And then, you know, I decided to start the PR agency, and it's been doing very well right now.
All right. Now, for people that you know, want to get involved in artist management and PR, is there like a specific qualification that they need to get at school in order for them to do that? And what is it?
I would definitely recommend communications, public relations, and marketing. You know, and if you can, even while you're running, you know, your business or interning somewhere at a company where you like a PR assistant or a PR intern, it's good to tap into the business side of things. So maybe take on business courses, you know, because you need to understand your industry. It's not just, oh, I'm working with celebrities, it's cool, we go to events or whatever it is. I hardly even do those things socially. You know, I'm always behind the scenes. It's always strategic meetings, studying brands and understanding what their target market is and where we can place them correctly. You know, it's not just take me to the hottest events in town, make me famous. It doesn't work like that, you know. So yeah.
All right, let's talk a bit about the artists. Do you think that they value or they know the importance of having, you know, a PR manager or artist management?
Slowly we're getting there where artists in South Africa take themselves very seriously. Like I said also, it's not a hobby anymore. It's not like a side job you do because you thought you can rap, you know, or you can act, or you think you're pretty and you can model. You know, it's actually their 9 to 5. You know, it's like artists in the UK, in the US, where it's big there. I mean, you find that one major artist that side has 3 PR managers. You know, one is not enough. And then they still have internally a PR manager within maybe the recording label itself. You know, so they're taking it seriously locally. I mean, I've had a couple of people approach me. I mean, on a weekly basis, I get people, up and coming artists, some already made artists that are saying, listen, I've made it this far without a publicist, without a manager, but now I see that I need one. You know, my brand is headed in a different direction, and I want someone who understands that. And yeah, it's good. It's a growing business this side.
All right, Allegra, I'd love to chat some more, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's go for a quick ad break, but do stay tuned for more.
We live in a digital era, and the number of Africans with mobile phones is rapidly increasing.
Twitter use is predominantly being done on smartphones. This is a very African phenomenon.
Here, there are constantly new innovative ways to make the internet more affordable. With that, we're seeing protests against governments proposing methods to limit access. On Network, we give you information about all of this. We also have new computers, games, and robots.
Join Siphumelele Zondi on Network every Sunday at 19:30 CAT.
And welcome back. You are still watching AfroShowBiz News. Now, established and upcoming fashion designers get the chance to showcase their brands and best designs at this year's Menswear Fashion Week in Cape Town. This is the second year of the Fashion Week showcase since its unveiling last year. This year's summer-spring collection is themed Our Roots.
Menswear Fashion Week is not so popular in South Africa, but some designers have taken it to themselves to break this norm. This event is for designers and brands to showcase their upcoming collections. One of the designers who had this opportunity to showcase her designs is Belgium-born Congolese designer Julia M. Poko. This young designer is keen to make a mark on South Africa's fashion industry.
there's such a great variety of African men, and it all depends on their style. So I think when I design, I have style in mind as opposed to ethnicity, background. So regardless of whether you're African, European, there's certain styles that you like. So if an African man enjoys wearing simple, well-tailored pants, then yes, I guess my clothes would suit the African man. Yeah.
Backstage, it is a total feel from the ramp. Designers make sure that their models are on point before they strut their stuff. One by one, models stroll onto the catwalk. Julia's designs are made of simple monochromatic colors. Those who were among the audiences were impressed by Julia's use of colors.
I like the textures and the colors, and I like the jackets. I thought it was very nicely put together, and I like the textures and the subtle colors that are so bold.
Menswear often play a poor relation to women's style at local fashion weeks, but it is enjoying faster growing sales and consumer taste that are becoming more daring.
There's always women's shows, and then you got some men's designers in between the women's shows, and you're not promoting the men's clothing because everyone there is there for the women's clothes. And you can't have a marketing platform that is focused on women and try and sell your men's goods through that. It just doesn't work. So we are providing a platform and for men's designers to provide their clothing so that the market can see what's out there.
Mzukisi Mbane is one of the designers also who is showcasing his summer and spring 2015 and 2016 collection. Mbane says he was inspired by African cultural heritage and the South African Menswear Fashion Week theme, Our Roots.
My work generally is inspired by the prints. I focus a lot on African prints. That's the identity of the brand itself. But for this collection, which was called Our Roots, I decided to take the common root, which is the woman. We are all born by a woman.
It's often proven difficult for Africa's homegrown designers to break it into the mainstream fashion market. But recent fashion trends have seen global fashion designers brands like Burberry, Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior embrace the continent's style, broadening its appeal. An expanding middle class across the continent is also fueling demand for products made by Africans.
Sweat up, the way. 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 Sweat up, uzongibona ngifika kinitale ngizoletha imali yamalobolo uzongibona ngifika kinitale ngizoletha imali yamalobolo sweat up the way 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 sweat up come on
Wow, guys, that was great. That was great. Welcome to the show. Very beautiful, very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Now, guys, they have come together for one thing only, to serenade their fans with their unique sound. Now, Beyond Vocal is an a cappella group that rounds up different styles of music, whether it's gospel, Afropop, Kwaito, and hip-hop. And they're here today to tell us a bit about their music. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, tell us a bit about how you guys came together.
We met in church, but is it 4 years now? Yeah, about 4 years ago. And we discovered each other, basically. We knew he could do something. We knew he could beatbox, and then we decided to try something, and yeah,
All right, now you guys actually started off singing gospel, right?
Yeah.
How did you then move from that to, you know, a more commercial sound?
Yeah. Because we were getting invited in different kinds of events. We doing festivals, we're doing corporate functions. We had to then adapt to the environment that we're performing in. So in church we do beautiful gospel music, and then in a corporate function we will entertain you, and in your festivals as well, we will do your cover songs, songs that people can easily remember. Basically, that's how we have moved. And also growth, because when we started, we thought we could only do what we did then. But in developing and growing musically, we realized we could actually start writing. We broaden our scope. We met people that influenced us, and therefore it brings us here today. So,
all right, so you guys are an a cappella group.
Yeah.
But do you think there's like a demand for it? Do people respond well to, you know, to a cappella?
You'll be shocked at the response. We are shocked ourselves, actually, because we never expect, you know, the response we get. We never expect the love and the appreciation they have for a cappella music. And I think with that, over time, we then realize that perhaps there is a niche, a market where we could, you know, broaden our scope in terms of what we have to offer as a cappella outfit.
All right.
So the demand and the love is actually growing. It's phenomenal.
All right. And then when are you guys gonna, you know, release an album for everyone else to hear?
Look, we are in the studio right now. Last year we did an experimental project, which was not an a cappella project, but then we were trying to show our fans that we're not only limited to a cappella music. But we're going to drop our first single in the next 2 months, if not less, with JR. We're in the studio with JR. And then after that, we're going in studio as well with Zano. So hopefully this year we're going to drop a single or two.
All right, and how far do you want this album to go? Who are you targeting when it comes to your album?
Well, our sound is centered around a positive message, you know, inspirational. We are preaching the message of love. We're spreading love, soul, and positivity to everyone. So we are trying to reach out to as many people as possible with this album.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. Now, we have come to the end of our show, but be sure to catch the repeats every Sunday at 2 a.m. and again at 1:30 p.m. We leave you with a performance again. Goodbye.
Oh, glitz. Oh, glitz. Hayu ya claim. Sugu ya claim. Hayu ya claim. Sugu ya claim. Hayu ya claim. Sugu ya claim. I wena clever. Sugu ya claim. Hayu ya claim. Sugu ya claim. I wena pare. Sugu ya claim. Hayu ya claim. Sugu ya claim. Oh, glitz. Oh, glitz. Maribu sing. Oh yeah. Hi, Maribu sing. Maribu sing. Hi, Maribu sing. We can tell over door. We can tell over.